Hey guys, it's Jonathan here at the 2021 Chicago Auto Show, talking everything Honda, every vehicle, every one that they offer. We're going to go through every single one of them so that you can see, hopefully make you a decision, allow you to enjoy the show without having to dodge the kids. So let's begin. All right guys, we're going to start here with the Honda CRV. This is a hybrid, so this starts at around 36, but as equipped it shows 37,000. We're going to sit inside here. Immediately has really nice seats here, just very welcoming. Actually, these seats are very comfortable. I am surprised how comfortable these seats are. If you've been in a Honda within the past 2 to 3 years, you should be familiar with or even more honestly, but you would be familiar with the layout of the gauges. Of course, this continues that. It hasn't had so much of an update. The infotainment on this one are relatively responsive, but they're easy to use, quick and forward. Now, like everybody else, Honda is doing their own take on the gear selection. So this has, you press this for drive, you press this for neutral, you pull it back for reverse, and you press it for park. So I guess they're trying to be for you able to do this without looking, but my friend's got a Honda and I'm in it quite a bit, and I'm always looking at it. You've got a wireless charger here. All right, coming back to the back of it, this is a pretty square design here. This has a partial shelf that does retract, but because it's a square design, you can see this D-pillar coming right here. There's no sloping roof line, so you're able to stock a lot in here. Here is the 2021 Honda Civic Hatchback. Now, I thought it was a little weird that Honda was showing this vehicle. You see, in 2020, they discontinued the two-door Civic, and 2021 marks the end of the Civic Hatchback shown here. So, if you like this vehicle, you should go buy one quickly. For 2022, Honda has completely redesigned the Civic, and it looks fantastic. I'll show you this vehicle a little later in the video. All right guys, we're here at the Honda HRV, which actually stands for High Riding Vehicle. So this is, on a car or chassis, of course, but it's raised up. So this is a high riding vehicle. Maybe that's what they should have called the Mustang. This one starts at around 22 for this trim. It comes around close to 24,000. The materials are actually very nice. Even though they are simple, the materials are not. This is actually soft touch right here. This is a rubberized soft touch here. These are soft touch. All the knobs are soft touch. This has this knurled material here, but that feels really nice. Interesting little cup holders here. I don't know if you can see this or not. You press this and it closes to lock inside. Your USBs are right down here at the bottom. There's a little pass-through underneath on both sides, and here's an outlet here, which is a 9-volt. So only one USB and one 9-volt here. I don't know if you can see, there's a little purple ring going on here. I don't know if that's the afterglow of a light, accent lighting that's there. Let's go see the back. A little bit better than the Toyota. Better implementation of that concept than we saw in the Toyota. Lots of room back here. Lots of room back here. It's a pretty square body vehicle with that D-pillar, with that C-pillar actually ending very much behind your head. There's a lot of space in here. So if you've got a lot of people, or maybe if you're larger, or just need the extra space, this is a lot of space inside this HRV. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting tired. I've been doing this non-stop. Love this opening right here. Again, because that C-pillar ends behind your head, there's a lot of space. All right guys, here, this is the 2021 Honda Passort. Now this is a $40,000 SUV. This is an all-wheel drive, and this is one of the upper trims, so we're gonna see inside of here. Now, if you ever, again, this interior, this gauge cluster is lifted right out of what you're going to see. It's going to be mirrored in the Honda Odyssey. Again, the gear selection with the pull, press, That's right, using also from the Honda Odyssey. Of course, the Civic and the Accord no longer have that. For connectivity, you've got just one USB. Interesting. You've got a 12-volt outlet here. There's 3-stage seat heating. This screen is actually really clear. Now, not a lot of places on the screen utilize the crispness of the screen. You use a tile layout. So when you are able to use it with a design like this, you can see just how really clear that screen is. Granted, you won't get to enjoy that clarity that much because most of the screens that you use are going to look like this. So that's good to see that. Anyways, seating position here is okay. There's not much bolstering in the seats, but I guess, you know, if it's for Americans, and well, we know Americans, you know, it'll be comfortable. But for us, you know, slender guy or like me, I'm sliding a lot around in these seats. They have a sunroof as well, but it doesn't open up very wide, and it does nothing for the rear passengers either. We're gonna come around the back here, and again, this is still a 5-seater configuration, so there's tons of room here when it comes to the cargo space. Each vehicle really has, you know, serves its own purpose, its own market. There's not too much redundancy when it comes to Honda, but their brand in general is a very, you know, conservative brand. Now, you can go to Acura, which unfortunately I don't think they're actually shown here at the show this year. You can get a little bit more edge, but you know, the thing with Acura too is a lot of their products, they still look like Honda with just a little better trim. So do you go with the Acura so you get a little bit better styling, or just stick with Honda and save the money? Choice is yours. Whatever you choose is the right choice. All right, guys, here is the 2021 Honda CRV, which has been updated and definitely needed so. Let's check inside here. It has this kind of tiering waterfall gauge cluster or instrumentation that falls down, and then the gear selectors here in the middle. Third style that I think we've seen of a gear selector within Honda. This screen is very okay. I'm sorry. All right, so we can't touch the screen because it yells. But anyways, here we go with the gauge clusters here with the digital in the middle and physical controls on the side. For connectivity, you've got two USBs at the bottom. I don't see any wireless charging. Perhaps that's available but not optioned on this one, which comes in, I have to look at the price again, I apologize. You've got a sunroof here, you've got visor here with the regular incandescent bulbs, no LED lighting for those sun visors. Let's go check out the back. You've got two USBs here in the back, and again, I apologize, all of the Honda vehicles are dark inside. All right, guys, this is the 2022 Honda Odyssey Elite. Now, this one is prices in at around $50,000, which is quite a bit to pay for a minivan. But the Hondas, I have been inside of the Odyssey before. They do offer a lot of value. Now, one notice as you see as you get in, they have this really nice ambient lighting strip that goes along the side. It also is mirrored right back down here as well in the door card. The traditional Honda instrumentation with the digital in the center and the analog on the side. Now, this vehicle, I know because I am familiar with the vehicle, has a lot of hidden features, a lot of which though are not going to be accessible while the vehicle is in this mode. You really have to turn the vehicle on, but it has certain things like cabin talk, whenever you're able to use a microphone to talk to your occupants in the back, much like if you're on a plane and you can hear the PA come over. It has that function. Also, you're able to, you know, it has of course the heated steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, and 3-stage heated seats, cooling and heated. We're gonna open up this back. You do have manual sunscreen, so if you do have a car seat here, you're able to, you don't have to put the little tacky sticky ones on your windows. You can actually have one embedded already in the vehicle. These the back windows do roll down as the front windows too. Of course, that is disabled for the sake of the show. They do come with or available with headsets that the rear occupants are able to watch TV and also communicate with the driver through the headsets here. We're gonna go in the back here, right here. Let me show you these back seats here. We're gonna talk really about how easy is it to put these seats back up. Much like the Chrysler that we saw in Pacifica having the stow and go seats, we also need to be able to how you're going to fill this up, especially as a parent. If you're going to be able to do this just with one hand, let's try. We're going to fold this, just pull it. Again, you know, I do this so you guys can see too. Like, this is my first time using it. As you can see, it's not the most intuitive flow of letting down the seats. Seems like you're just pulling this forward and just pull it towards you and fold this back. It's not intuitive, so I'm not even going to mess with it anymore. All right, let's say you do need a third row, but you're not yet ready to make that leap or fall, depending on how you look at it, into a minivan. The Honda Pilot might be the vehicle for you. Now, this starts in the 50s. This one, as equipped, is about $52,000 in this trim level. Now, this is the black edition. This gives you certain things like the blacked out wheels. It gives you other accents along as well. You can see here on the seats, it does say black edition. Now, the attractive thing about the Honda Pilot is, like I say, if you're not ready yet, or you don't ever want to be ready for the Honda Odyssey minivan, this gives you pretty much all of the features that you find in the Honda Odyssey. So you've got your gauges right here that look exactly like the Honda Odyssey. This controls here, including the cabin talk, is a part of the Honda Pilot. Even the controls for the drive and gear selection, just like the Honda Odyssey, you've got a wireless charging pad here. Now, unlike the Honda Odyssey, there was some ambient lighting that went across here. We don't have that in this vehicle, but you do have such thing as like the sunroof here. There is a visor here to be able to look at the kids in the background. You also have the fold up, just like the Honda Odyssey, and you also have the ability to have the headphones. This one, just like the Honda Odyssey too, has your DVD player located right here. You have heated, cooled, and ventilated seat, along with all your safety driving systems, such as the hands-free for adaptive cruise control. You have lane keeping and a heated steering wheel. We're going to go in the back here because I want to show you something that you're not going to get with the Honda Odyssey. And that is this incredibly beautiful panoramic roof. Now, I think that Honda's done this better than anyone else that I've seen, in the fact that the sunroof, the video TV is actually right here, and your sunroof starts somewhere right here. So we're gonna go in the back here, fold the seats down. There you go. It takes two hands, but it is pretty easy to do. And this is the 7-seater captain's chair configuration. You are able to get it in a 8-seater configuration, I believe. And of the Honda lineup, this would be my choice. All right, guys, this is the 2021 Honda Accord. This one looks really nice. Now, this one is on. Not many of the Honda vehicles are on, but this is really nice. You actually sit very low in a very sporty position here. The screen is really nice. The responsiveness is okay. Still not as good as we saw on Chevrolet, but still, I think, better than what we saw with Toyota. One good thing is that Honda continues to have these hard button shortcuts along the sides of their infotainment, and of course there's always still physical volume controls, and you've got physical controls for your heating and air conditioning. This one goes against all of the push pull buttons for gear selector. It has a traditional gear selector, which I do appreciate. A full digital gauge readout, although it's not super, actually it's not. They are just really crystal clear. Those are actual analog on the far left or far right side, and the rest it looks like they are digital. As far as connectivity, you've got two USBs on the bottom here. You've got a 9-volt direct port at the very bottom. This is not supposed to look like carbon fiber, but it does look nice, and that's something that I would opt for. It looks really good. Let me know what you guys think. If you think this is nicer than the Toyota Camry. Alright guys, this is the 2022 Honda Civic. This is the touring model. This is the redesign of it. They just updated this one, which is why it's front and center here at the show. This one's under $30,000. You can ask Quip right now as a show. We'll go inside in a second, but this is about $30,000. It looks really slick. It's grown in size. You remember the Civics used to be a really small vehicle, but this has grown in size. It looks almost like a Honda Accord, honestly, but it's a very smart and mature styling of it. Alright guys, let's check out inside of this 2022 Honda Civic. Well, this guy had the seat all the way back. This is really nice. I like that Honda is not doing this like fake wood like everybody else. This is actually a mesh. This is a plastic mesh, but it's really hard plastic. This looks really good. And behind here, you've got the vent controls here, if you can actually see them moving through the weave there, the honeycomb weave. And you've got, thankfully, a traditional gear selector, no rotary knob, or the buttons that they put into the Pilot, and also the Honda Odyssey. 2 USB ports here. Interesting to see no USB-C, but there is wireless charging here. Gauge cluster looks amazing. They've actually stretched out the digital gauge cluster further than they have on the other models. Parking controls are down here along with your safety controls at the very bottom. This vehicle, as shown on the steering wheel, does have a lane keeping and autonomous cruise control. Adaptive cruise control. They also have a sunroof up here. This is a very, very nice car. I think this is one of my biggest surprises here at the show. I believe this one, I'll confirm, is at around $30,000 as equipped, which is not bad. And this is probably going to be your top of the line. This is a leather seating surface with perforated leather. Inside here, you've got just nothing, just something to store things. You got your drive remote rocker right here, auto start stop. Has a physical button for those of you who like to defeat that function. The glove box is nice and deep. This is nice. And then here on the door is actually where you have your trunk control. We're gonna press that, open it up with the indication that the trunk is open in the gauge cluster. I do want to check out this back seat because it does have a tapering roof line. Oh, but there's plenty of room inside here. Actually, as you can see, this roof actually goes up and then comes back down. So this is where your head would be, which gives you plenty of space back here. For the back occupants, you've got 2 USB ports in the back. And again, we're going to check out that trunk area.
The best part is CRV premium stick.
Lots of trunk area here. Not a lot of load lift either, because as you see, it comes up to right to my knee, so not a high load lift on these. These are not powered seats, of course. They do have assistance and convenience of pull features right here. Under here, you've got a spare. This is not a full-size spare, but you do have a spare, which is better than having a run flat or AAA. Really beautiful car. This is probably one of my, as far as in the sub 30,000 range so far the show, this is my favorite vehicle. Alright guys, that's it. That's everything Honda here at the 2021 Chicago Auto Show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me a comment below. Again, my takeaway from this, the new Honda Civic is absolutely amazing and definitely worth, if you're looking at that $30,000 price range for a small sedan, something to get around town in. This is definitely worth checking out. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.